I'd like to continue with the next presentation. This is from Action Network number 7, Livestock for Social Development. The title of this presentation is Providing Evidence of the Social Role of Livestock. The presenter is Ernesto Reyes. He is a livestock manager in Agri-Benchmark and also the Action Network chair. Thank you very much, Ernesto, for being here with us. You have about 30 minutes. Please allow for some time for people to address questions or to provide questions to you before you finish your presentation. And the floor is yours. Thank you very much.
Can you hear me?
Now we can hear you.
Okay, can you see the screen, right?
Yes, thank you.
Okay, thank you. Can we start now, Eduardo, or that directly?
Go ahead.
Okay, thank you. No, thank you, everybody, and thank you, Eduardo, for providing this slot to report what are the different action networks are doing, in this case, the Livestock for Social Development. The idea today, just let me see that it's going to, okay. The idea today is to have a brief introduction. What are we doing right now within the Action Network? The second is to provide some evidence that we have been working with the dairy sector, especially with a series of publications that we are doing in poverty, in nutrition, but now this is gender and employment. Then also the Global Dairy Impact Report. And the third point is the guidelines and tools. We are working with the data impact methodology with the pilots. And then I would like to just to raise the proposal that has been presented several times with the Livestock for Social Development Plan, for a proposal that has been led by IFAD. And finally, if we have the time, we would like to raise the point that what we would like to do with the next webinar, and we have an idea between various members of the Action Networks to show this multifunctionality of the social role of different examples of livestock. We would like to show the nutrition aspects, the ecosystem services, the economic contributions, the added value, the support to peace process in many countries. So this is what we would like to raise. Thank you. So just to those that are not very much familiar with what we do, we have been focused in 3 main areas: providing evidence of livestock role in social development with a focus on dairy, then providing tools and methodologies for analysis or for measuring that impact, and then the livestock platform with social focus that IFAD has led as a part of proposals. With the evidence of the social role in terms of dairy, we have been able to have a peer review and analysis of journal literature provided regarding the role of dairy in poverty reductions. And we recently launched the second regarding the role of dairy in reducing global hunger. For tools and methodologies, we have the dairy impact methodology with a set of pilots, and the idea is to have a prototype, a model that can measure this. And for the livestock platform, there is a place where we would like to have a partnership knowledge exchange, when we can provide evidence, when we can provide operational support and knowledge management. This is what we have been doing. Recently, and I say recently is 1.5 years ago, we started to catalyze these working areas with an IFAD GDP grant that has been conferred with the following components: dairy impact methodology and testing and developing this model and testing that model in pilot countries, Kenya, Rwanda, India, and Vietnam. And recently to this process has been joined USA, because we agreed that we wanted to have different models of market developments in this. The second element is a knowledge-based programs with a set of publications regarding dairy and SDGs, in this case, gender and employment. The evidence. Remember that I have mentioned that we have been produced dairy and poverty, dairy and reducing global hunger. Now we are able to announce that we are going to we are going to provide a new publication, which is the role of dairy and gender empowerment, which is still in a draft mode. And the second one that is also coming, the next draft is coming soon in terms of the dairy and employment generations. These are the two main new publications that we foreseen to have. I will have to mention that together with the group that is checking and revising all the elements in this publication, we have had some issues because empowerment is a very, very complex issue to analyze and to measure, and not too much publications and journal analysis are coming in the case of dairy when we can really, really measure the term empowerment. You know, in a discussion with one of the editors, he was raising the questions to ourselves. How empowered are you at home? And how do you know that? This is something, just to give you an example of the complexity. The same with employment generations. It's very clear that the value chain could provide a strong elements for value change and for employment generations, but it's quite difficult to measure that because of the complexity of the value change in emerging economies. And regarding the global dairy impact report, as we are going to produce a team prototype, we will talk about this later on. The idea is to have a global dairy impact report with the information analysis with more than 100 countries. This is what we have. Let's go for the third element, which is guidelines and tools. We have been discussing and developing the dairy impact methodology together with different organizations. And the idea is that we have been measuring 4 dimensions in these social elements: farmers' livelihoods, employment on the dairy value chain, consumer benefits, and government's revenue. The first element, farmers' and livelihoods, is how many people are depending on these and what is the value that dairy can add to this process. Second, employment, because we have seen that employment is a very, very important key element, especially in emerging economies for these. Consumer benefits, we are talking about affordability of animal proteins. And government's revenue, it's being asked for many governments and many institutions that we need to demonstrate in mostly development projects what is the impact and what is the role of dairy when we are approaching governments for projects. We have been developing a set of simple and clear indicators. I will not go through these, but we have been already developing the model. And please bear in mind that many times we used to ask, why don't you measure these? Why don't you measure these? We have been developing this prototype based on the availability of public information, which means all these variables needs to be easily found publicly and with an academic rigor. So we have been using different databases for this. These has been the steps that we have been using for developing the dairy impact methodology. Those in green are those that has been implemented. And the one in yellow is the one that we are currently in, and we are going to start the pilots. So the dairy model, which has been the starting hypothesis for developing the model, we have the hypothesis is that GDP in the countries, gross domestic products, is linked to the milk yield, which means the more milk yield we have in a country per cow, the better the sector is developing. This has been the starting hypothesis. We have been using different public available databases with academic rigor, and based on this, we have been able to build up econometric models for those countries that cannot provide that information to the public databases. We have started to prove the model with 20 countries, and it has been, let's say, we selected randomly those countries from different regions, and we have seen important positive results with a nice R-square, showing the importance of dairy for many regions. And now we are scaling up for more than 100 countries using the different econometric models, and we have already started to plot the graphics for more than 100 countries. We are going to refine these pilots in these countries that I mentioned, and the idea is to produce a global data impact report. This is what we have. The third element is the Livestock for Social Development Platform. This is a proposal that has been led by IFAD, and IFAD would like to use the institutional umbrella and the partnership elements that we have in GASL to develop such a platform, which has a social focus. We already have a concept note that has been developed in workshop and virtual consultations. We have a clear objective. We would like to provide a strong focus on social. We will be very focused on people. We would like also to knowledge exchange as the major element, and knowledge management and information exchange, and also gathering and storing information regarding the social elements. We have been developing different steps and activities. We have already have a kind of route of mapping. What are we going to do? We have that clear, and we have been identifying what are the benefits from this platform. And we would like just to discuss with you that this platform is going to be presented to the next guiding group to be endorsed within the Action Network. We have been conducting a survey among the members of the Action Network, as well as other partnerships in different networks. And we have been scanning what they do, where they are, which elements they would like to measure. And this is the idea with the platform. The idea was presented in GASL MSP meeting in Kansas, virtual guiding group meetings. Then this proposal was included in the GASL action plan. We have been developing a workshop and very consultation process have been implemented through these years. A survey has been conducted, and we already have a virtual place for information exchange and partners communications. We have already developed a DG group for these. It is not yet on ongoing process, but this is already a place for this, and this will be endorsed by the guiding group. These are the elements that we wanted to report. So first, we will continue providing that evidence with a focus on the dairy sector. Second, we are going to provide 2 publications with the dairy and gender empowerment, dairy and employment. Third, we are working on provide a prototype and a model for measuring dairy impact. And we are going to have a global dairy impact report and the testing in 4 countries. And we have the Livestock for Social Development platform that we would like to start this process. With that in mind, I will stop sharing my screen and will open the floor for these and for any questions that you may have. Is there any, Antonio, please.
Good afternoon to everybody. It's not a question, but you mentioned several times the support from IFAD, and I thank you for your presentation, for the work you are doing and the Global Dairy Platform is doing. I just want to reiterate with all the participants the importance to have a platform, to have an area where we can share what works in the area of dairy, but in the area of livestock. IFAD as a financial institution, also a UN agency, can only mobilize more funding for livestock development with a resource poor farmer only if we have evidence that there is an impact. If there is no impact, in this moment in which livestock, I use a strong word, sometimes is under attack. I use a very strong word from media, from public opinion, etc., for contributing to the gas emission, climate change, etc., demonstrating the importance of livestock for nutrition, gender empowerment, youth empowerment, and the contribution that livestock give to nutritional aspects and also to the climate change is vital. Otherwise, we will see the contribution from donors country to shrink, continuously shrink, and it will be really a kind of a disaster in the sense that the livelihood of resource poor people is based on livestock. So my pledge to all the participants who has to take a decision on the platform is please support this initiative. IFAD is ready to engage with the GASL because we think it is the institution at international level for the multifunctional role that the GASL is playing is the perfect area where we can really bring this evidence and share with donors. I thank you for giving me the floor, and Ernesto, back to you. Over.
Okay, no, thank you, Antonio. I think it's important that we can support that initiatives because, as we mentioned, the idea is to have a strong social focus, and the idea that we have, starting with the next webinar that we would like to raise soon, is that we really need to demonstrate the different roles that the livestock sector could play on this. We would like to see a chicken in backyards. We would like to see horses and different kinds of species demonstrating the value that they can add to social development. This is something that we really like to see, and this is the opportunity to do so. If there are any other comment or questions regarding the Action Network, please feel free to take the floor on this.
May I?
Sorry, Rogero?
Yeah, just to say that when the talk from Antonio, which also is in line with your talk, I really appreciate because at the end, you both want to improve life in the countryside. You want to improve the livelihoods, and because at the end, we need to do something here to attack the farmers, to go direct to the farmers. And I really appreciate the way that you are doing both. Thank you.
Thank you, Rogero. I think we need to, let's say that, yes, I don't like to use these words of under attack, but yes, we are. But I will say that for me, the most difficult thing is that we are a silent invitee for the new scenarios with the future of livestock or the future of agriculture is being developed. We are a silent invitee. Some of the main messages from those scenarios are based on ideologies, not in scientific evidence, and this is not really helping us to demonstrate this. But that's what I would like to encourage you, and I will say, Antonio, that one of the first tasks that we can do with this platform is to manage. For example, I will invite all the participants to manage the next webinar in the Q4 of this year, led by this platform, once it's endorsed by the guiding group, to provide this different case studies of the social role of livestock in general development, in general social development. And we have been working with some members of the Action Networks, and I was the nutritional role, the ecosystem services role, the peace role, the sovereignty in the land use. This is something that I would really like to see in this Action Network.
So, well, thank you very much, Ernesto. I'm really thankful to you. The Rajasthan University of Veterinary and Animal Sciences is willing to organize a regional conference regarding this. So we will in contact with you. You please give us a little bit time for that. And it's a really good eye-opener presentation from your side, as well for the India purposes also.
Yes, thank you. Thank you, Mr. Darn. Thank you for your kind words, and you are more than welcome to join us. I am going to write my email and you can contact us. And this is really important because one of the pilots we are planning to do for the daily impact methodology is in India. And maybe you can help us to do so. I'm going to write my contact and you can go through this and you are more than welcome to join us.
Yeah, please, you please convey your email ID.
Any other comments or questions regarding this? Please keep in mind that we have been discussing these different elements. Let me check the email. So you have my contact, whatever you need, and please don't hesitate to contact me, and we will be able to join you to the group. We still have some more minutes for these. I don't know what would you say if we can take the options that GASL is offering for the webinars, if we can make a very populated view of case studies regarding the social role of that. And if it is possible, we can use the idea of the platform that we are proposing here to start with this process.
Yes, sure.
Yeah, this is something that we would really like to see. Is there any other comment on this?
I have a comment. Yes.
Mariana, how are you? Nice to see you again.
Yes, for me the same. Thank you. Ernesto, and all of us, I'm thinking about the 3 action networks and how can we improve our dialogue between the action networks, because you are working very interesting and the country level, and I am working in landscape level or domestic unit level, and both these approaches are very interesting, and how to put these different approaches in dialogue and to make more rich our view, I think. What do you think about?
Mariana, thank you for the question. It is really funny, and don't get me wrong about my expression funny, that we have been before in the Action Network Leap, and I was commenting the same thing. You know, when we go to the field for measuring environmental indicators, people are always asking, why don't you measure economics and social approach? And when we go the other way around, when we are doing these pilots with the different countries measuring social indicators, people are asking, why don't you measure environmental aspects? Which means that multifunctionality in the action network of grasslands, which means a Livestock for Social Development action network measuring social impact. LEAP as a reference for environmental indicators. We all, resilience, silvopastoral systems, we are all measuring similar things and we all have the same need. And yes, you're right, we will need to somehow agree on that. And Rogero our colleague from the Action Network Closing the Efficiency Gap, he is asking us for social indicators. It is, and in reality, in the practice work on the field, we are already working together with some of the colleagues in Latin America, and all the projects are really asking for social indicators besides the productivity ones, the economic ones. But yes, we will need somehow to start this. I will not take that, I will not lose that opportunity to say that according to our elements, we are going to leverage, we are going to champion that proposal from the Action Network, that is to develop a platform based on social elements to the guiding group. If everybody agrees, we will present this in the next guiding group.
Okay, thank you, Ernesto.
Oh, Mariana, thank you to you. Is there any other comment? I think to the organizers, Eduardo, Lavinia, I think we are more or less ready for this. And the idea, Eduardo, is that we will recheck there are two things that I would like just to close, that we will go to we would like to rise to the guiding group, the structure of the platform that we are aiming for, first, and second, we would like also to redefine or replan the webinar, and the idea is to take this webinar with different cases, with the social role of livestock. This is one idea that I wanted to say at the end. Eduardo, many thanks for this intensive and very good contribution and the work you have done. Congratulations to all of you. It has been, I know how it has been. Thank you.
Thank you, Ernesto, and thank you everybody for your participation here today.